Hey, what's up, guys? This is Quentin with Lawn Care Ninja. We are at GIE 2021, and we are with Michael here with Amsoil. So I'll tell you a little bit about me. My dad was actually huge into Amsoil, and he put it in all our cars. You know, like I think we had a 1984 Fairmount, which is an old station wagon.
And it was not a very good car either.
Yeah, it had a lot of miles on it, and he was just always doing Amsoil, always talking about Amsoil. He still uses it in his cars today. So I know a little bit about Amsoil, and I'm kind of sold on Amsoil. I think it's a great product. But why don't you go ahead and tell me a little bit about Amsoil?
Well, thanks. I appreciate it there, Quentin. I got involved with Amsoil about 20 years ago, and the technology has changed, has actually caught up with what Amsoil's been doing since 1972. The product came out in 1972, was the first synthetic oil for cars, API rated cars. And back then, the first can that came off said 25,000 miles or 1 year, whichever comes first. People didn't believe it back then. They still don't believe it now. It's crazy, but it's full synthetic oil, and it's made right here in the United States. Amsoil's a private company in Superior, Wisconsin. And I got involved with it. I started using the product, and I thought, just like your dad, I became a believer, and I started telling everybody about it. And they said, "Hey, look, you could become a dealer." And I'm like, "Well, what does that take?" And I said, I paid the fee to become a dealer, and I thought, well, everybody needs oil, right? So it'd be a great thing to sell. I didn't realize that oil was like religion and politics. They just everybody has their side that they want. It's the people that know about it want it. They understand the performance of it, and once they start using Amsoil, just like your dad, they just never quit.
Yeah. So, how can Amsoil, what are the benefits for a lawn care company? They might have some small mowers, they might have some big mowers. Obviously, you can spend $10,000, $15,000, $30,000 on a big giant mower. So, what are the benefits that people can use if they have Amsoil in their engine?
Well, for our commercial customers, the biggest thing for them is cost savings, right? So you're going to have less downtime. Your equipment's going to run better. It's going to be more efficient. It's going to use less fuel. It's going to be less wear, so you're not replacing your equipment as often. And you're not having to, if you can go longer on an oil change, and you're in the middle of the season, you're going wide open, you're like, oh, I got to do an oil change because I got, 50 hours on it. Yeah. That's like once a week. That's more than once a week for many people.
Yeah.
Some are doing 100. That might be, just a little over a week. Well, what if you go twice as long as that? That's going to give you that and you get that buffer too. So if you're at like 75 or 175 hours, and but now the rain has quit, I got to go mow today. You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
We had an engine here a couple of years ago that had 700 hours with no oil change on it. And it was brand new, spotless inside of it. I wish they brought it back. Corporate did the testing on it. I'm just an independent dealer, just like your dad was. So I don't work for Amsoil. I work for myself, and I take care of a lot of commercial customers. I notice a lot of things here today at the show that people are using one product, their favorite product, but they're not looking at all the other products that we make. Like they might be putting it in the mower, they might like our two-cycle oil, which is the best there ever was, but they're not putting their trucks, so they're not putting in their heavy equipment or whatever. I remember one guy, he had put it in his favorite motorcycle. He was a farmer like 2,000 acres, has a $500,000 combine, and it's like, well, are you using Amsoil in it? I'm like, that's what's making you money? And he was like, no, I just put it in my motorcycle. I'm like, well, I don't understand that, but we make it for everything: cars, trucks, boats, motorcycles, ATVs, UTVs, heavy equipment. We've got the greases, we've got the fuel additives. That's a big one, especially for diesel, with the fuel in the United States just not being that high quality and the price, right? If you want to get 5% better fuel economy, put something in there. And I notice most people don't use any kind of lubricity additive, and they've taken all the lubricity out of the fuel, which is your injection pump and your injectors. So if you use our product, it costs about $700 over 100,000 miles. That sounds like pretty cheap insurance, and then obviously it's kind of a pain in the butt because you got to put it in every tank. But if you get used to doing it, it's peace of mind. Yeah, it's cheap insurance, and your thing's going to run better. And like I said, 5% better fuel economy. And then you got the anti-gel, and you got the cetane in there, which our diesels are supposed to run on 50 cetane. A friend of mine just posted a photo on the interwebs of he stopped at a gas station and it said 40. So in America, it's usually 40 to 42. So the fuel is not even as efficient as it needs to be to make your diesel make the most power it's supposed to have, right? So that's just one thing we help out with, you know, trying to save our commercial customers, which is lawn care, any kind of service business, fleet transportations, of course agriculture, heavy equipment. We show them how to save money. I go in there personally, not go in, but you know, I work with customers all over the United States and Canada. But I work with them over the phone, internet, you know, that type of thing to help them save money. That's my first goal, and make their equipment last longer.
So you have two-stroke oil. I didn't know that you guys did two-stroke. So tell me about what the benefits are of this.
Interesting stories. And so I've been at it for a long time, so I get all these stories over the years, and I was fortunately able to meet Mr. Amatuzio, the founder of the company. He died several years ago, many times. And he tells a story. He says when we first came out with Amsoil, we came out with a 1-year oil change for cars. And it's like, well, we got to have something that's going to be used more than a 1-year oil change because we don't get a customer for another year. So what can we come up with? They came up with a 2-cycle oil. And it wasn't just for small engines. It was our, you know, synthetic 2-cycle oil. And when it came out, they tested it at 300 to 1.
Wow.
And it's still protected. And Mr. Amatuzio said, look, we can't put that on the bottle. Nobody believe it. So they settled on 100 to 1, which in 1973, when this product came out, 100 to 1 was unbelievable. It's still unbelievable now for most of my people that walk by. You're like, I'm stuck at 50 to 1. I got to use that. And it's like, no, it's designed for 100 to 1, and it's going to be less smoke. It's going to be easier starting. Spark plug's going to last about 3 times longer.
Oh, wow.
Yes, it's just
huge.
Yeah. And if you got employees, you know, the guy running the weed eater, 8 hours a day, because they're usually stuck on that, right? The weed eater guy that's what he does, and he's breathing that smoke, you know, 12 hours, 14 hours a day. He hates it. Because I was in that position. I mowed grass for an old guy. He's 82 years old, mowed 70 lawns by himself, stuck me on the weed eater, and it was the crappiest weed eater. It was old Craftsman's. He only bought Craftsman's, but it just would smoke so bad, and I just want to throw that thing over a fence so bad. And that's before I learned about Amsoil, and if I would have known then, you know, maybe it'd be a little pleasurable to run the weed eater without that smoke blowing in your face all day long.
So if anyone's interested, how can they learn about you and Amsoil and maybe get some oil from you?
Oh man, I appreciate that. You know, again, I'm an independent distributor, and I can work with customers all over the United States and Canada. If they are already registered with Amsoil, I can't do anything with those guys. They're protected accounts, so we don't have territories. We have protected accounts. And like I said, I've been doing it for 20 years. So as your service and dealer, I'm here for the long haul. I've not, you know, there's a lot of fly-by-night people that do it for a week and quit. So I'm here. But you can contact me. My website is lube-direct.com. And if you're on the internet, interwebs, it's just Lube Direct, all one, on the Facebooks and the Instagrams and the YouTubes and all that other. So you can contact me there, or you can call me on my cell phone. It's 931-801-9401. That's call or text. So I answer, unless I'm sleeping or, you know, indisposed of, I answer my phone pretty often.
Yeah, well, I'll definitely be checking Michael out here and Amsoil products. Sounds like a great thing for our equipment that we use every single day in hot weather. And, you know, so yeah, I'll leave links in the description below if you want to check it out. And thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you later.